I forgot how to use the controls. So I was gonna introduce Chef Gangster, but I forgot how to use these controls. So here he is. We got Chef Gangster locked in today. Um,
Hey,
Tell everybody what's up, man. To the West
hey,
Coast, all that.
hey, hey, what's up? What's up? Chef G, Chef Gangster representing West Coast. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course. So, yeah, man, you are a well-known figure in Street Beast West Coast, man. Everybody knows who you are. You're a staple of Vegas. Um, but we wanted to sit and chop it up and find out who you are as not the chef gangster we know, but the guy that came up to become the guy we know. Um, so let's start it out, man. Where are you from? Like, where were you born?
I was born and raised in East LA, city of East Los Angeles in California. And I moved out here to Vegas when I was around 20. Moved out here by myself and just hustled my way out here. And, you know, just did my thing out here in Vegas. And now I feel like Vegas and East LA are both my homes, or California and Vegas.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel the same way about Florida and Arizona, man. Um,
Yeah.
when you let's kick back to Little Chef Gangster. Like you was were you born in LA? Like outside of LA? You
Yeah, I
said?
was born in LA. Yeah,
Born
for
and
sure.
raised, so you stayed there till you were 20.
Yep.
Okay, dope, dope. What was it like living in East LA? Like, cause we hear all kinds of stories and music and all kinds of stuff telling us about what it's like out there. What was it really like out there?
Growing up in East Los, man, you know, you do hear a lot of the stories. You see it a lot in the movies, but you don't realize that, it has such a background like that because you live there. You just think it's home, until you
Yeah,
finally move out of there. Then you realize, like, damn, like I really lived in a part of history. Like I lived in, a big city like that where people talk about it and have movies about it. But when I was living there, it was just regular for me. Growing up there, it's just a regular shit. I mean, there's a one of the California is one of the gangbang capitals of the whole U.S. Especially a city like East Los or anything in L.A.
mm,
And that's just how I grew up. I kind of grew up fighting because I wanted to represent a few crews and just be cool and and just be part of the neighborhoods and so that's how I started fighting since I was a kid. Um, Back then, it wasn't so much for fun. Um, Once I turned 18, I actually went straight to I got locked up, and that's when I came out and tried to change my life, and that's when I decided to move to Vegas. 10 years down the road, you know, there's a middle story to this. I got really into fitness. I got away from all the negativity and that game banger mentality and
yeah,
I feel like fitness kind of changed my lifestyle and changed my negativity and where my head was at. As soon as I got more into fitness, I started being more competitive in my everyday life, trying to be more successful. And just one day, I guess during quarantine, man, once we got quarantined down in 2020, man, I was just watching so much UFC with my girl, and I just got inspired. Like, man, I do all this fitness and all this athleticism. I bet you I could get in a fight. And
yeah. Because it's
yeah, and
different. It's different getting in a fight in the street and then getting in a fight in the
actually,
cage. That's very,
actually
very
fighting,
different.
actually fighting guys who know how to fight. Versus in the
Hmm.
street where it's just, it's quick.
Yeah. So you let's kick it back a little bit. You're growing up in East LA. You moved out when you were 20. You got locked up when you were 18. Let's talk about that born to 18-year-old stage. Were you heavily into the you said you got into the gang banging. Were you doing that at a young age, 10, 11, or was that more 16, 17, 18?
I wasn't actually banging at the time. I started banging hard when I actually got locked up, and then that's when I clicked up with some real G's.
Mm,
But growing
okay.
up in the city, man, I was into tagging. I was into tag banging and shit, and I thought that
Yeah.
was cool. But once I got locked up, that's when I really got in heavy with that.
Yeah. Do you? Did the tagging lead to any art, like drawing and just on your own, or was it strictly tagging?
I feel like it highly inspired my artistic side. It kind of brought that
Hmm.
out. Even to this day, I love just the look of graffiti on clothes, on shoes.
Yeah.
I just feel like my whole style is like a street urban graffiti craziness style going on, you know?
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I can see that. It very much is. Your entire style is very graffiti-ish. Like from the clothes you wear to from the fit to the tattoos, everything. Yeah. I could definitely see that. Yeah. So you get locked up. Do you want to share what you got locked up for?
uh just got locked up for same shit, just fighting, man. Just fighting in school and
Hmm.
I got in a fight at school and I hurt the guy. And just again, like I've been fighting since I was a kid, just
Yeah.
just being a knucklehead, and that's why I felt like I could get out there, like man, I'll fuck some dudes up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it does. It definitely leads to that thinking. Like when you're younger, because it's real easy to win a fight when you're a kid. You just throw more
yeah,
hands. You don't even got to land because somebody gonna break them up. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so you get locked up. You come out. How long was you locked up for? You said at 18 and you moved at 20. So
I did like a cool year in
a
there.
year. Okay.
I got in a lot of fights in there too,
Yeah, you did a
nonstop.
little stint. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like my cool little year. When I came out, I feel like you know, I don't know if you guys believe in meditation, like getting deep into your head and you just start trying to meditate a different life for yourself, and I feel like I did a
Hmm.
lot of that in there, and I just had a different vision. So when I came out, I just wasn't about the same mentality. I wanted to do something greater. So just moving out of state was just on
That was
top of
the
my mind. Yeah,
yeah.
that was like my next
Okay.
mission.
So you do a stint, you do a year, you get out, and then you move to Vegas. Was your girl with you the whole time? Where did you guys meet? Because I want to find out when she got introduced to the picture because she seems like a very very
Yeah.
important part of this story.
She's very important in my life because she got me into UFC and the MMA
Mm.
and the actual trying to go out there in a cage, you know.
Okay,
But
okay.
as of her, no, we weren't together. I had a different family back then.
Hmm.
Things unfortunately didn't work out, and you
Okay, that
know,
happens. Yeah.
I went my own way, and I believe a lot in evolving, and I feel like once I left that previous relationship, I kind of evolved to this new form of me. You know, when I was in Cali, that was like my first form, and when I met my girl now, which you guys know as Kickbox Girl, that was like my second form right there. And now I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna evolve again. I'm just like this
Hmm.
close, and I just need to keep working.
Yeah, no, and we see that evolution. There's a couple guys in the branch that absolutely, I don't want to say keep tabs on you, but they definitely pay attention to the moves you're making, and we appreciate it.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah.
you go to Vegas. You said you had a previous family. What years was that? How old were you when that? And do you have kids?
Yeah, I got two daughters. Yeah.
Two. Okay. How old are they?
12 and 10.
Okay, we got a little age to them. Those are some cool ages. Yeah, they know
Yeah.
exactly what they want when they want it at this point, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do they stay out here in Vegas or are they in California?
Yeah, they stay with me. I actually got full custody, so they're with me.
Oh, very,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. How do they feel about your fighting?
Um, I think I think they were cool. I mean, they weren't scared for me or anything. They saw the fights and they just
They thought it
applauded
was
me. It was
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Okay, no,
see me
that's
train,
really cool. So you
Yeah.
didn't get into martial arts like really training until the last few years, huh?
No, not at all. Just recently. And like I said, I
Yeah.
feel like that's the third form where I
Yeah.
went
Okay.
from straight thug to, fitness, and now it's like this fighting form.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I really like the progress. When did being a chef slip into the
Come in and play.
yeah?
Well, um, long story short, when I was about 24, in my previous relationship, when my kids were just babies still, they were just newborns and stuff. I had to take care of them during the day, and I needed a graveyard job,
Mhm.
so I could continue taking care of the kids while their mom goes to work, and we could handle all these bills together. But at the time, I was washing dishes, and I guess all the cooks had quit. They got pissed off, and the owner of the restaurant just asked me to take over, do whatever I wanted, and I just did what I could. I burnt everything at first, but I just kept going at it,
Yeah.
and just learned from my mistakes. From there, just as the years went by, I took that experience and took it somewhere else. I went from a little sushi restaurant, cooking in the back. It was like an all-you-can-eat restaurant out here.
Hmm.
Um, and then I took that experience and I took it to Benihana. That was like my first little. It's not fine dining, but it's high end. And I took
Yeah.
that Japanese cooking into fine dining after that. Once I got some more experience, and I got to work at Mandalay Bay.
Oh, that's dope. We'll get into that Mandalay Bay in a minute, but let's drop back to Benihana's again. Yeah. So were
Yeah.
you the dude up there flipping that shit in front of everybody and doing that? You could do all the tricks and everything.
No, no. Actually, at that time, I wasn't a hibachi chef or anything. I was just in the
Hmm.
back cooking entrees and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I felt like they paid me too low. I moved into fine dining, and it was like a whole process before I actually became a chef. At that time, I was still a cook. Once I became a chef, it was more for my daughters. I wanted something greater. I wanted to make more
Yeah.
money, and
What's the difference between a cook and a chef, like on paper?
on paper, a cook is maybe a line cook or a prep cook. A chef is the manager of the kitchen. You run the kitchen. You're a
Okay.
real chef. You're the one in charge. My position now is a executive sous chef.
Do you need
Um,
degrees or certificates or anything for that?
no, not at all. If you're good
No.
and you can handle the job,
You
it's
can
all
move
yours.
up. Okay. So
Yeah,
you don't have to be certified in anything. You just have to be well rounded in the kitchen and know what you're doing and be able to
exactly.
manage people. Okay. No, that's super dope. So do you currently work at Mandalay Bay?
No, that was actually a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Was gonna say, let's
I
hear about
work.
the Mandalay Bay. How did you get into Mandalay Bay? Because I can imagine it's not an easy place to get into.
At the time, I got some good experience. At the time, I was actually working two jobs. I was a personal trainer at LVAC, and I was working at Benihana's. And I remember some of the guys asked me to train them at the gym. They wanted me to show them a few routines. And I guess he had a brother who was a chef at Mandalay Bay, and he hooked me up. He put me on as a cook and at Mandalay Bay, and I got in. Had some pretty
Okay.
good times there too.
Yeah, that's dope. And so from Mandalay Bay, you went where? And this is all around what age frame? Because I'd like to do this in its
Yeah,
chronological order. Because we're gonna get to the fighting bit. I know that's what everybody wants to hear right now. We're gonna get into the fighting bit.
yeah,
But the cooking impresses a lot of us. It really really does, man. Because you take so much pride in it, and it's I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of that shit looks good as fuck. Like it makes me want to eat it right through the Instagram
yeah,
page, bro.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It'd be dope to come over and cater some events, man. Go over there and cook for you guys, man. That'd be dope. You know.
You you welcome at the hot box anytime you want, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
man. It's gonna happen.
yeah, I got a guy that's gonna be on the grill. But if you get, I'll let you know when an event is. I'll DM you and we'll figure something out, and you can come over here and cook and whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
my man.
that's awesome.
Samk got a good question right here. What's your favorite food to cook and to eat?
My favorite food to cook, like I said, I'm just a fitness fanatic. My favorite food to cook is just coming up with like really greasy, fatty meals and making them healthy. You know. and it
No
just
shit. Okay.
impresses
Yeah.
myself to like, okay, I can make a Philly cheesesteak healthy and still eat good food and just eat healthy, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and what was the other question? He said, what I like to eat.
And yeah, your favorite food to eat.
In general, I love Mexican food, you know. That's just always gonna be my favorite.
That's
You
that
know, you
LA
cannot
right
be
there.
can't beat tacos, bro.
No, no, there's nothing that can beat tacos. Like that's the whole West Coast. That's all we eat, tacos, man.
Right.
Um, okay, so we just went from what 25. How old are you right now?
I'm actually 35 right now. Yeah,
35.
I'm
So
about
you
to be
probably
35. I'm 34, about to be 35.
okay. When's your birthday? Is that coming up?
June 13 next year.
Okay, so you get 6, 7 months. Okay. Um, so you're working at Mandalay Bay. Now we're kicking back a little bit, and then you
Yeah.
progress to what came after that.
Actually, man, I was going through a hard time, man, and you know, I got let go from a lot of jobs. And I know we're heading into this direction, but my resume is long with how many jobs I got fired from and let go from for the same reasons that I like to fight, you know?
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
why though? About the fighting part, and I was gonna ask this earlier, but I
yeah,
got off subject a little bit. What has made you want to fight in your personal life all the time? You know, because
yeah,
I mean, a lot of us love to fight, but we only do it in the
yeah,
cage. What
right.
has you doing that outside of
I
the
guess
cage?
just the environment I grew up in, you know, like I said, going back to the whole LA environment,
Hmm.
um, where I was growing up, you could get beat up just by looking at somebody funny and you get hit up and then we're just fighting or saying the wrong shit. You could say something disrespectful and not even know you're disrespecting. You're just going to fight for
Yeah.
no reason, you know? I just still had that dog mentality. It's like, man,
Yeah.
that everything was disrespect for me. And it wasn't until now once I started growing up, it's like, man, I need to chill
Yeah.
out. If I want to be successful, you know, I got to be more of a people person, you know.
Yes,
And
you can't just be punching people if you want to make money. That's just they do not they only go hand to hand in that cage. That's it.
right,
Um, so you're 35 now. I'd say what 25 to 30 is
right,
Mandalay Bay, and then a bunch of different jobs on the resume. And I feel
right,
that I mean I think we've all been fired from a bunch of jobs. I'm real quick
right,
to tell a company to fuck off if I need to. So I
right.
definitely get it. So then, around how old were you when you met your girl and that third form started popping up?
Um, we met in 2019, almost towards the end. Um, I guess you know I was in a previous relationship where it was just trash. You know, we weren't getting along, and I finally like broke it up with my past one, and I was kind of doing my own thing and just finding myself, finding a new style. At the time, I didn't even have long hair. I didn't have a braids. I was doing like this whole mohawk thing, and just one day, like the mohawk got so long, I was like, man, I really want to braid this shit. You know, I was at the barber, and the barber's like, man, I want to braid this shit. You know, and he's like, man, go and braid this shit, man. I go and braid it, and it was just like the hottest shit. I think I skipped a step, but you know, it's a big thing with me and
Yeah,
and my girl right now because you know we're just like this braid couple right now. You know,
yeah,
so
you guys absolutely are.
yeah.
I think
So
you're one of two. I think Duva and his girl be doing the braids too. But
that's
like
awesome,
obviously
man.
you guys both have your own styles, but it's
Yeah,
really really fucking cool to see that. Like when everybody shows up in their braids, yeah,
yeah.
super fucking cool to see that.
So yeah, back to that step. So 2019, yeah, sure enough, I just ended up uh, running into to Kickbox Girl. You know, we met up at a bar and we started chopping it up and we were cool, man. We just clicked since day one. I think at the time we had different styles.
Hmm.
And as time went on, we kind of just started combining our styles, and even then, back then, I wasn't even to the colors so much.
Hmm.
She's always been about the colors. She's the one that brought the basic color into my life. I like to say now, where I was just kind of like dark and you know,
Well, I would imagine where you grew up, there was only so many colors you could be involved with.
right, exactly. It's
So it
just a
probably
blue.
limited you a touch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
just right.
So
Yeah.
you meet her. Now, you said something earlier that was fascinating to me. She introduced you to UFC and all that shit. Which
Yeah.
we like. I don't hear that a lot. I'm sure it takes place all the time, but we don't hear a
Yeah.
lot from guys saying their girls introduced them. How'd that go about?
Yeah.
And before we get into that, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. Uh, how was your game that night y'all met? Did you just slide up? What's up? Come on, be honest.
Nah, I gotta keep that
Or was
private,
her
man.
game real? Was it her game?
Man, it was cool enough to get a call back, man. But she don't kiss on the first day, so that was pretty cool.
No,
So
you had to work for it. Okay, I ain't
yeah, I
mad
had
at
to
that.
work for
Yeah. So
it.
okay, so she introduced you to UFC, and how did you start watching, and then you were already into fitness, and be like, I can do this.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, everybody's heard of UFC, but my girl, she watches every fucking UFC, like every Saturday, every pay-per-view. We don't miss one, you know. So back then, I heard of UFC, yeah, I watched some pay-per-views, but I didn't really sit down and watch the shit from UFC 1 all the way to the current UFC.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of time during the quarantine when we all got laid off. I was just sitting at home watching this shit. And we actually have a heavy bag in our living room. So I'm just, while she go to work, I'm at home just training, man. I'm
Just
just
doing it.
jump
Yeah.
roping, hitting this bag and just watching UFC all day, you
Mhm.
know. And it kind of is like back to the meditation and the evolve is kind of like bringing out a new form in me.
That's super cool. I I can picture you sitting there on the heavy bag watching some UFC, smacking it around. And then, how did you hear about street beefs? And oh, before that, street beefs are your only fights, correct?
Yeah,
Inside cages. Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah.
how did you hear about street beefs?
Street beefs. I know you guys know who Sneaky Boy is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Sneaky Boy, I actually worked with this guy before I became a cook, before I became a chef. I worked with
Hmm.
him when I was a dishwasher, and
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck, but I got in contact with him just recent, and
Hmm.
yeah, and I remember he used to actually train at the Mayweather gym, and I remember he used to fight. So I just hit him up like, "Hey, man, you think you could put me in a fight or some kind of amateur fight?" And we were just clowning. He was like, "Man, you should just get on street beefs." But at that time, that show was in the East Coast only. It wasn't
Yeah.
out here in the West yet. So like I was one of the first ones to be in the West Coast version. I think the first one was in Cali, and the first one was here in Vegas, and I was on that second Street Beast for the first time. But yeah, sure enough, we was like, man, let's try to get on Street Beast, just clowning, not thinking it was gonna happen. And then sure enough, I
Mhm.
got chose. I got chosen. Tank saw my Instagram, and he was like, all right, man, he gave me a shot, and that was pretty cool. I just went from there, and then I started training crazy, trying to drop weight because I was bodybuilding, so I weighed a lot more than what I did when I went in the cage the first time.
Yeah. What? Who was your first fight? Was it Peso, or was it,
Uh,
or no, sorry, it was Lopez, or was it
my first
Ugly
fight
Boy?
was with Ugly Boy. Yeah.
Ugly Boy. Okay. And how did that go? Like, okay, so you have been in, from the sounds of it, dozens of fucking fights before, and
Yeah.
but now you're in a fight in a different caliber. You know it's
Right.
coming. You don't know who, but you know you have to be in a fight because it's one
Yeah.
thing a fight popping off out of nowhere, and then it's a whole different situation knowing in a month you're going to be in a fight.
Yeah.
So how is it? This is my question. I was actually getting to right here. Diesel hit us up. How were your nerves in that first fight? Like, walk us through
Uh,
you going into it.
there was a lot of amateur mistakes that I made going into that fight. First of all, I didn't eat good, so I was like almost all the way fasted. I was
Mhm.
thinking that we were gonna get weighed at the fight. Like I just didn't know what was going on, so I didn't want to weigh too much, and then
Mhm.
match me up with like a crazy ass heavyweight. So
Yeah.
I was like all the way fasted and shit, and so I felt kind of weak. And then I was drinking. We were like training before the fight while they were setting up and stuff. So I was just jump roping and sparring with my girl, and I was kind of just like burning a lot of energy, and then I ended up drinking a lot of water. So when I
Yeah.
went into that first fight, I feel like I gassed out, and I didn't know how to breathe properly like I do now. I feel like I practice a lot more. That's what's great about the first fight, man. You see everything you're doing wrong, and then you want to change it and perfect it. Every time you fight, you got to
Hmm.
go back and see where you fucked up, and don't do it again.
Hmm. Yeah, no,
But
no.
yeah, my nerves going into that fight was, they were up there. I was super nervous. I feel like I felt like if my nerves weren't as bad, I felt like I could have finished, but I was just so nervous. I was throwing like one punch at a time, just
Yeah,
throwing a punch and then moving back, and versus when if I stunned them, I should have just kept going. And
yeah.
just the nerves were
How did
just,
that fight pan out? How did it ended up?
um, man, I feel like I was doing great for the first round and the half round. After that, I started getting gassed because I was just
Hmm.
throwing bombs as hard as I can. I just wanted to knock them out with one
Yeah.
punch. Kept moving
Hmm.
back, kept throwing bombs, and like I said, just the breathing. I didn't know how to conserve energy like I do now.
Yeah. Okay.
And well, at the end of the day, I felt like it was pretty close. They gave it to Ugly Boy. And man, at the end of the fight, man, I got to shake hands with Ugly Boy, and he ended up being like one of the coolest guys I ever met. We kicked it outside of
Oh, he's
Street
super
Beefs,
cool.
and super dope guy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's super cool. Okay, so you do that first fight. You learn a lot doing that first fight, and then you sign up for a second event. I believe that second event was in California, right? Is that when we went to Morongo Valley and we had the hay bales?
Well, you know what happened? I was actually in the best shape of my life before we went to Cali. I
Hmm.
had trained so hard after that first fight that
Hmm.
man, I was running like fucking 5 to 10 miles every other day, 5 to 10 miles. Like I was on one, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to go back and prove myself. But what fucked me up is we ended up catching COVID, and I had to bail out. I think the Cali one was a Street Beefs 4. I was supposed to be at Street Beefs 3 as well. So I ended up pulling out of
Oh, okay.
Street
Yeah,
Beefs
yeah,
3.
yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
my first event was Street Beefs 3.
yeah. So I was gonna
But
show up anyway with the COVID, but I was like, at the time, everybody was just like, man, that's bad karma. You don't know what the fuck could happen,
hmm.
blah, blah, blah. And this shit could go so sideways that you could die up there from having this shit. And I'm like,
Oh
man,
yeah,
that's real
yeah. You don't want
shit.
to play it.
You know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was
absolutely.
like, nah, like I don't want to risk this shit. And I took that
Hmm.
break. And yeah, sure enough, I mean, COVID is real as fuck, man. Like that shit fucks with your cardio than a motherfucker. Like I felt like
Oh,
a huge
absolutely.
difference, you
Yeah.
know. On the Street Beefs 4, once I went up there, I wasn't even planning to fight. I guess my girl really wanted to fight, so she started
Hmm.
training for it. And but I was still in pretty cool shape. I had actually started working again. I was like a line chef at a little office. So once I started working, it's really hard to train like you want to train and balance work at the same time.
Yeah.
I wasn't at 100% shape like I wanted to, but it went pretty well.
Okay. Um, I remember you and your girl fought at that the Street Beefs West Coast 4, didn't you? Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. I think I took a nut shot from Silas that day.
I
It's
remember that, man. That shit was crazy.
you're telling
Yeah.
me. So okay, so you do your second fight, and this is the question everybody wants to know. When do we see Chef Gainster again in that cage?
I know. I know.
Hmm.
Um, I do my second fight. I was planning to go back again. I don't know if it was 3B6, but this was back in Nevada in Vegas.
Hmm.
As I'm going to the fight, I was just like, hey, is anybody available? I think Wade Adams matched me up with this tall Asian guy. I forgot his name, man. In a boxing match. He didn't want to do MMA. It was boxing. But I guess some guy was coming from San Diego. He came all the way from San Diego to fight this guy. And that's when Tank is like, hey, man, let him fight. You could get the next one. Right when that happened, I get a call from Caesar's Palace, and my old chef hits me up, and she's like, hey, I'm going to need you back over here at Gordon Ramsay's pub. I'm going to need you back to work. And I'm like, fuck. After that, it's like, man, I just enjoyed these last fights. I gave up the fight so they could fight. and then that was it. I just went hard in the kitchen.
Okay, that's understandable. Like we definitely have to balance our careers with our, fight careers. Because I mean, we're not making any money doing this. This is a hobby, so that
Yeah,
job's got to come first, of course. Um,
yeah,
are you still training? What are you weighing right now? We see you in the gym still all the time.
yeah. Right now I'm a solid 205. 205. I mean, if I really wanted to fight anything above amateur, or I don't think I ever will, but I would want to be like 185 at least, and
Yeah.
that, I guess that would be like a water cut, but I'm 205 right now.
Okay.
One of the
Yeah.
main reasons I haven't gone back is I actually broke my hand.
Ooh,
Um,
how?
I,
Like, where's it broke at?
yeah, I had broke my hand. It healed up pretty nice now, but I had broke my
Hmm.
hand for the whole first year that I went back to work as a chef. Me and my girl actually went to the club and I got in a fight and I just knocked him out and just broke my hand. And that was it, man. I was like, I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't lift weights anymore. And I just took a break for a while from just
So,
the fighting.
so you should probably quit fighting people not in the cage. Probably,
Yeah.
like at this point, we're seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, maybe. Where are you working now? What are you doing now? Because again, like I said, we see you
Yeah.
on the Instagram and Facebook. Um,
Yeah.
Tell everybody where you working now, what you doing.
All right. I work for Gordon Ramsay's I work for Gordon Ramsay restaurants at Caesar's
Hmm.
Palace. Um, they do have a. We're not allowed to talk about it so much, but I do work for Gordon Ramsay. If you guys are out in Vegas, come and visit me. Just send me a message. I might
For
I
sure.
might be able to hook you guys up. One of the sous chefs, executive sous chefs here at Gordon Ramsay restaurants over here in Caesar's Palace. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I do now.
That's cool. What's next in your fight career though? Like you told me you broke your hand. Sounds like you back to lifting weights and everything again. You got
Yeah,
the work balance, work on lock.
yeah.
So when do we get to see you in there again?
Now that I feel like I got the work balance, for the first 2 years of coming back to being a chef, it was just so much stress. I couldn't balance my life out. I feel like now I'm starting to become a natural, where it's just
Mm.
easy every day, and now I got a routine going where I could work out in the morning, go handle my job, and then still have family time.
Yeah.
So I got a good balance right now. Um, I don't know if you guys heard, but bare knuckle boxing is in town, and
Yes. We
I
have
was
heard.
planning to try out. I got the text. I don't know if anybody out there is going to go try out, but we are going to be there on Saturday to go try out for bare knuckle. As for street beefs, man, let me get a little bit more comfortable, man. I'm still training. I'm still trying to get in there. Yeah, I don't want to go in there with a fucked up hand and just give
I
a
feel that.
sloppy
Yeah.
performance. Yeah, but
I
I'm
feel
good
that.
now. I'm getting back. I
Yeah. I
want to go in
believe.
there like, yeah,
Oh, go ahead. You want to go in there?
I want to go in there at least under 200 pounds. I don't want to fight the light heavyweight so bad. I just want to be under the 200 for street beefs.
That's a solid middleweight. That'd be a good spot for you. It
Yeah,
really would. There's some
yeah,
there's a lot of competition in there right now. That 185 to 200 ish.
yeah,
There's a lot of competition there. It's fun. I know we
yeah.
have quite a few guys trying out for the bare knuckle. It looks like Mike 100's going. I believe Golden Arms made a post saying he was going.
Man,
So
that's gonna be
you might,
awesome to see you guys there.
yeah, yeah, you might see
Yeah,
some guys there that that you've trained with
yeah.
and fought beside. Yeah. Um, Chief Wildfire would like to know where it's located. He gonna just show up. He gonna crash the party.
Just crash the party, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's at Venetian in the Fitness Expo. So the Venetian at the Fitness Expo. I think if you go to their website, you might be able to get a text now. They might give you a confirmation to go through.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess if you just want to go in there and try to find it,
Just show
um,
up.
just show up. The
Yeah.
mine is at 2 p.m. So just go ahead. and show up and just say fuck it. They called you.
Did they tell you what all it entails? What are they going to do for the tryouts? Obviously, they're
No,
probably not going to have
not,
you fight somebody. I can't
nothing
imagine they
at
would
all.
have
I
you just
mean,
fight
it's
somebody.
just a surprise, you know.
Hmm.
I know bare knuckles amateur, you know, it'll
Yep.
be something cool. I know the pay-per-views are there, you know, it'll be I'm just a firm believer of just you just never know. That's like my
Wait,
motto. You just never know, you
it's
know?
amateur? I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
amateur. I thought bare knuckle was pro.
No, I don't think it's pro.
Hmm.
No, because there's too for it to be a pro sport, there's so much licensing involved in
Yeah.
it's just too
Hmm.
much. Yeah. So
Yeah. It
like
makes. I mean, it
that's
makes
like you have
sense.
yeah, like UFC, it took forever to be pro because it was just too much. It was too much going on, you
Yeah.
know, the blood.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're legit trying out for bare knuckle. How do you feel about that right now? Like, how do you feel as far as
Uh,
and that's this weekend? Like, you in feel in good shape? What are you looking to do there?
like I said, I'm just a firm believer of you just never know. They might just like my look. You know,
Hmm.
I know bare knuckles all about pay-per-views. They might be looking for guys who can sell one, who look cool. You just
They
never
definitely
know.
are. Yeah, no, they definitely are. Like, when it
Yeah,
comes to promotions, they want people to put asses in seats. They want people to buy
right,
tickets. So,
right,
like, like you have a lot of guys, especially in street beefs, that are extremely marketable,
right,
and that's what a lot of these promoters look for. Absolutely.
right. I guess there was some talk that bare knuckle wanted to click up with street beefs for a minute, and I guess that kind of went away. No.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I don't know exactly what happened. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, if anybody knows about that, Sunshine might know if she's in
yeah.
here. Uh, you Yeah, I'm not sure. I heard some talk about that, and I know we have quite a few people that are part of Street Beefs that do the bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I don't mind getting in a fight, but getting in a fight with bricks on your hands, it's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. Like, the way they
Yeah.
wrap them, it's like basically being punched with a cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Daniel would like to know if you cook any vegan food.
Um, yeah, I definitely have some vegan options. That goes hand in hand with just fitness. You know, for somebody like me, like where I want to drop weight because I gain weight so easily, I would
Mhm.
have to go almost all the way vegan and just drop mad weight. You know,
Yeah.
I could try the lean. I'll lose minimal weight, but if I really want to drop weight, I'll go vegan. You know.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. A lot of people like the vegan diet, and there are fighters that use it for sure. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're getting your proteins, and there are proteins in a vegan diet. Daniel, he's a let's see, vegan for 10 years. Man, I would never would have guessed. Hmm. Those vegans are out there. You never know. So yeah, what's the goal as far as the cooking? Being a chef, where's your trajectory that you wanna see?
Man, being a chef in especially in Vegas, I feel like it's a very turn and burn lifestyle. It's let's just sort of roll the dice, and as soon as you start getting hot, you either take it somewhere better where you're going to get paid more, or take the next promotion, or you know, you just never know how long you're going to be there because the way the health departments are coming in, they're checking in on the smallest details. You could be having a bad day where if they shut you down, and there goes your job. You know,
Yeah,
it's very political. I really want to get out of there. I want to start my own business or restaurant or food truck, some kind of catering. You know, as soon as I can save up enough money, I want to start my small business, and that's where it's at. If I have the opportunity to be an executive chef, I'll take that. But I know there's a lot of stress that comes with that, a lot of responsibility too.
what's a what's an executive chef? Like, define these roles. I know nothing about
Yeah.
kitchen life.
So my role now as an executive sous chef, I'm the third man in charge.
Hmm.
Um, I do a lot of the ordering, make sure we're meeting food costs, labor costs, and just running the service in general, making sure everything's running smooth. I have about five sous chefs under me that I'm in charge of. The next position above that would be the chef de cuisine. that's the second man in charge. So whenever the executive chef is not around, he would be the one in charge, and he takes care more of the morale of the room, making sure everybody's happy, making sure the chefs are happy, making sure everything's smooth. And at the end of the day, the executive chef is the top dog. He creates the menu, he changes the menu, um, he does everything for the restaurant in general. All the ideas coming in, he designs it. Um, he pretty much he's just the boss of the room, you know.
Hmm. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So the you said cuisine chef. He's a level above
Second,
you, second in
yeah,
command, and
yeah,
but he's in charge of morale. That's fascinating.
yeah.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, that's fascinating. Huh. What's and then the executive chef runs the whole kitchen. So he's like the general manager of the kitchen.
Basically the GM, you know, executive chefs will be more like the paper chef. He's gonna be in the office, getting all the computer shit done, making sure shit's running tight. And you know, at the end of the day, without us, without somebody like me who just fights and goes to
Hmm.
war in the kitchen every day, I mean, some of these guys couldn't be successful. Executive chefs, if they don't have a good second hand guy or a third hand man, they wouldn't be successful. You need like a good solid team to be successful as an executive chef.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's kind of like being a general manager anywhere. Like if you can't depend on your team.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Daniel's got a question. How did it feel to see your girl fight at Street Beefs?
That was actually nerve wracking for me. I didn't like seeing her get fucked up or punched or anything. I
Yeah,
was kind of mad. I was like kind of mad, you
yeah,
know. And I
can
was like,
understand.
man, just yeah. I was like, fight back, or I just wanted her to pull something crazy, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah,
it's rough watching people you love fight. It really is. I've had girlfriends in the past that won't watch me,
yeah.
but they're ex girlfriends. So,
Right.
um, have you
No,
seen
my
the
girl.
movie Chef?
Man, I've been really meaning to watch it. I know my girl has. Kickbox girl
Yeah,
has.
I've never seen that movie. Yeah, and you know what? Here, you had a crazy KO at that event too. So that KO was you. You're on the bottom of a mount, and you
Right.
KO'd him from the bottom. That was that. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. That was a solid fucking performance. Yeah,
I
I
well
think that's part.
he didn't get KO'd yet though. I think once I got on top after I flipped it, that's when it was starting to be over. But I think I was punching him as hard as I can, and like I said, I feel like the bodybuilding and the strength training that I've done over the years, I think that's what's helped me. With just versus having a lot of weight on top of me, I was able to
Mhm.
just push them off and block from the
Yeah,
bottom and just give a lot of power from my back. You know.
absolutely.
Um,
You definitely were. Like I said, it was an impressive performance. Um, okay. My last question, and I know we're going to see you again. We have to see you again.
yeah,
And
it's
you
gonna
said
happen.
185 to 200 ish.
Yeah, that's where I want to be back at.
Who's on ChefGainster's hit list right now?
My hit list? Nah, I don't got one, man. Yeah, yeah, man. I like everybody, and especially in street beefs, man. And just being able to fight makes me respect fighters a lot more than what I used to. And
Yeah.
when I used to watch them on TV, it's like, come on, why'd you do that? But now, being somebody who actually fought, I'm like, fuck, bro, that shit's hard, man. Like
Yeah, it's a
you
whole
can't
new
just do all
respect.
that.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
so it's like
whole new respect.
all the fighters, winners, losers, or anything is just all mad respect for me.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Cody said your fight versus Ugly Boy was the very first fight he's seen live. He'll always remember that.
That's
That's cool.
awesome.
Yeah, like because Coyote's he's a goddamn legend around here, and he's talking
Oh
about how
yeah, man.
legendary your first fight was. That's super cool. Yeah.
I
So,
know that fight was so dope. I remember watching him too.
yeah, it's really cool. Do you know if Kickbox Girl's coming back?
I don't think she will. I
Yeah.
think she kind of evolved to a different person as well. since I'm talking about evolving this whole
Yeah,
interview. But she changed her Instagram name, and she's like a whole new version of herself. But I think she likes it, and I like it too. She's pretty cool
yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm glad she did it though. Like I think anybody who even has an inkling of a desire to fight should just get in there. You know, if you get tuned up, you get tuned up. It is what it is. At least you did it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah. Oh. He said fought new chonies. That was. Yeah. You got any last minute shout outs? You want to plug your Instagram, anything you want to do, my man?
Oh man, I just love watching everybody from Street Beast, man. Andre 619. I got him on Instagram. Shinigami always shouts me out. Actually, Shinigami came and visited me when he fought. I forgot what's his name, but he fought him, and I offered him a free meal out here in Vegas, and he got to eat. I got to meet him and Rachel. It was awesome. This anybody from Street Beast, man. If you're in Vegas,
Hell
let's
yeah.
fucking hang out. Let's fucking hang out. My house is always open. We're always throwing UFC parties and having a good time. I don't drink all the time, but I will drink with my Street Beef fam.
Hell yeah, man. We'll definitely make a point to make that happen. Last question. Island Strong. If money wasn't involved, would you rather fight or cook for the rest of your time?
If money wasn't involved,
Yep. If you all, and everything was paid for, would you rather cook
man,
just for the hell of it or fight for the hell of it?
man, if money wasn't involved, I think money is just a motivation for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. But I think fighting and cooking is both, man. That's my name. That's Chef Gangster.
Yeah.
I have to do both.
You have to.
So
Yep. At the
yeah,
same time, sometimes apparently.
yeah.
Look like now. I know you can't answer this question, but can Shinny cook in your professional chef opinion?
I'm sorry. What's the question again?
He said, "Can Shinny cook? Is Shinny a good cook in your professional chef opinion?"
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I had a good conversation with him. He used to cook, man. And will he come back to the kitchen? I don't know. He says he doesn't like it. For
Yeah, he
that
said he
last
does
question
not
you asked
enjoy it.
me, yeah, for that last question you asked me, I think he would rather fight than be a cook.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we should do right here. We should have an event where both of you guys cater and straight up
Yeah.
competition. That'd be
No, for
dope.
real. I mean,
Hell
for
yeah,
real,
a
that
cook
should be
off.
dope. I'm
Yeah. Just
actually coming up with a cool concept right now. I want to have kind of like a cart where I'm cooking and grilling on a grill,
mhm.
and I have a boombox in the bottom, so it's kind of like a DJ slash catering at the same time. So it's like the whole mix of like hip hop and EDM music, and then just throwing food out there at the same time. So if I do come, I'm gonna bring some music too.
Hell yeah, I fuck with it. Diesel said the March event out here in Arizona. And like I said, bro, Hotbox always open to you. You want to come out here and test your
Yeah,
shit out? You're more than welcome.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be super dope. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll DM you, and next time we're in Vegas, I hit you up. We definitely gonna
Yeah, man,
watch
we got to.
watch a card, have some beers or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Chef. I appreciate you being on the show, homie. Again,
All
what's your
right.
IG? Tell everybody what your IG is and all that stuff so they can follow.
All right. Follow me at Chef Gangster on Instagram, man. I'll follow back. Thank you very much. And just man, keep fighting, man. Just in your everyday life, just keep on fighting. That's what made me great as a chef. When I came back from my little vacation in quarantine, after fighting at Street Beast, I became a whole different chef where I became competitive in every single aspect of my life, where I feel like um, I'm just gonna be number one day because I just have that competitive mentality now of just wanting to fight and just fighting for what I want to be and who I want to be. So, fighting is not just fighting. I mean, there's a lot more benefits to training as a fighter. But follow me at Chef Gangster Instagram. Thank you very much. Peace out, Street Beats.
All right, my man. You have a good day.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Later. That is one of the most inspiring individuals that we have in Street Beast West Coast. No bullshit. Like that dude, like we watched him. work his way up in every aspect of his career. We watched him show out. He's only had 2 fights with us, but he showed out. He improved. He did his thing. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he has in store. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I know we've been gone for a little bit, but we back every week, every Thursday. We have some people coming. I've got quite a few people you know, a couple people you don't. I got the Canadian amateur boxing champion. She'll be joining us, I believe, next week. We got Fair Play coming up, Beach. We got a bunch of people on here. So, yeah. Yeah, he definitely stood the whole time. Yes, sir. I'm recording from my gym. So I built. So I don't know if y'all know, but the hot box is my gym, and I'd just be all set up in here. If I didn't have all these wires hanging off, I'd show you. But yeah, we put a gym together, and I'm training some guys out of here that's going to come through and take everybody's belts this year. So, all right, guys. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Later.